2,000 years ago, a man known as the Demon King ruled over the land with a powerful might. Everyone was afraid of him due to his overwhelming power, but then the legend fell off. Now in the present time, the demons became more chill while waiting on the second coming of their leader, who happens to be walking alongside a cutie for their first day in the Demon King Academy. At the doorsteps, they encounter a foolish fella who thinks he's Gilgamesh from Fate, but yours truly quickly reminds him what series this is by blowing out his flame and bringing him down to his knees. However, they then meet in a coliseum. Budget-cut Gilgamesh is rocking a set of armor that is immune to demon magic, which is quite ironic due to him being of royal descent. The edgy boy pulls a magic sword and leaps at the swag king, but yet again, like the last time, Anos blows the flames off and resumes to badly injure the kid without laying a finger on him, just by the sheer pressure of his heartbeat. Not learning when to give up, the kid agrees to contract that if Anos can make him tap out, he will forfeit the match. The hothead agrees, thinking his resolve is far stronger than a guy with one hand in his pocket, and so the cycle of death and resuscitation starts. The audience is very shocked seeing how brutal and strong this quote-unquote low-life hybrid is. After snapping his fingers so many times and blowing the guy, Gilga surrenders. The next stage in the entrance exams is to assist one's magical power, so our boy heads to a room where a talking pigeon instructs him to put his hand on a crystal to measure his power. Anos places his hand on the crystal, but instead of a big number, it says 0 and explodes. Misha, who has been his companion so far, compliments him, saying, "Although it said none, I know you are too powerful since the crystal never breaks, while that and my demonic eyes that can see magical powers." After finishing the last exam, Anos, like a true gentleman, offers Misha to come over to his place and enjoy some food his mom is making. She agrees, and they teleport there using a spell that was lost in the mythical age. Upon arriving home, Anos gets greeted by his mother, a rather lovely lady. She is overwhelmed by the joy that her son has passed the hard exams, especially if you take into consideration from her perspective. Anos is just 1 month old. Yep, you heard that right, folk. The dude went from infant to teenager and puberty then to a man all in 1 month, which adds to the shock of his parents when they see him bringing a chick back home. Anos then walks Misha home. Their peaceful walk is filled with head pats. Sadly though, they get jumped by Gilga's big bro, who is there to redeem his royal family name by ending the tall, dark, handsome devil standing in front of him. First, he kills his little bro, who is too weak and has no use to him. He then turns his attention to Anos, but the man with his hand on his hip is unfazed, asserting dominance by just standing there mincingly. Big bro then uses forbidden magic, otherwise known as origin magic, but our guys, as usual, stand tall, tanking the hit as if it's nothing. He explains that origin magic can't affect the origin itself. Anos then revives the small bro and tells him, "This take crap, knock out your homie won't work here. Man up, admit your mistake, accept your brother, and then work together to take me on." With no other choice, Big Bro accepts him, and they both die together, only for Anos to revive them later. The main man then declares the true legendary demon king Anos Voldigode has finally awakened. P.S. From now on, we will be referring to the main character as Ano, since we feel his full name might come off as a synonym for bumhole. Which is far from what Ano is like. Even being the strongest person way back, he chose to meet with the hero and others to talk peace and end the war between demons and humans by sacrificing himself to perform a spell that raises walls between 4 species, separating them for at least 2,000 years till he reincarnates, along with the hero Kana, who wishes to be friends with the Demon King in the future. Back to the present, Misha tells Ano that he is the talk of the class due to being classified as a misfit. Ano asks her the name of the Demon King she knows. Misha tells him, Evos Dilhavia, and that is A-V-O-S, not A-N-O-S. For the last 2,000 years, everyone believed that the guy is the true king. Soon the class starts with the teacher announcing that the students will get separated into groups, with each group having a leader. Naturally, the main character that is learning in his academy raises his hand, but the royalist teacher doesn't believe a hybrid like him has the power to become a leader, so Ano offers her a challenge to show her a glimpse of what he's capable of by pointing out a flow of the magical circle designed to share strength with lower demons, and to top it, he modifies the circle, making it 2 times stronger, which in turn earned him the right to become a leader. Sasha Nekran, who is Misha's older sister, introduces herself to Ano and teases him for picking her sister, as she is a quote-unquote defective doll. Yet the big boss shows he doesn't mind it. Sasha goes on the defensive, and her eyes of destruction glow. The whole class freeze as they believe the new guy calming to be the true Demon King is about to turn to dust, but joke's on them. Ano pulls a reverse Uno card and flexes his own eyes of destruction, shocking everyone as well as Sasha, to whom he tells, "I sense some decent power in you. Instead of going against me, how about you join my team and bond with your sister?" Embarrassed after class, Sasha challenges him to duel. The loser will do what the winner asks, no ifs or buts. The next day, the duel takes place in a forest where the group has to make castles via creation magic to hide the king from the other group. And when the king gets captured, the game ends with the capturer as the victor. That said, you know an overpowered demon king with or without an army ain't gonna hide and cower. So what Ano did is he ordered Misha to make 3 castles for her to sit tight in one, while he goes down to flex his muscles and lift a freaking castle, while saying the legendary line, lightweight, easy weight, before proceeding to throw it. Sasha resorts to spells that empower the weaker demons by sharing power with them to create a big duck and plasma cannon, yet Ano, as always, stands tall, unfazed with a smirk on his face as a mini sun is shot his way. To combat it, he uses the weakest fire spell to not only destroy the shot but also the other team, marking him as the victor of the competition. Sasha hesitantly agrees to honor their contract and joins the team, knowing that her eyes of destruction glow whenever she gets worked up. Ano the Demon Riz King compliments her eyes saying they are very beautiful, catching her off guard and changing her mood from I want to kill you so bad to I want to kiss you so bad, which she does at the end of the day. And the friendship arc continues as we see Sasha recalling how Misha used to comfort her whenever no one dared to look her in the eyes because she can't fully control her destruction eyes. Unlike Anos, who gets to meet one of his old subordinates, Ivis Necron, who is highly regarded in this day and age, which shocks everyone when our boy talks the walking skeleton as if they are old buddies, and their shock soon turns to utter disbelief when Anos steps down to grab the demon emperor by the face and he does nothing to retaliate. However, they do meet after class to ask Anos what he did to him. Anos tells him it was a spell to look inside his mind and see which demon king he knows. Necron is hesitant to accept Anos as the true demon king of tyranny, but doesn't seem to be dismissive of the idea as he admits his memories might have been tinkered with, so he decides to stay neutral in the meantime, and he leaves. The next day, the class is holding a competition, and the team that grabs a valuable item from the Demon King's castle gets ranked higher than others. Hence, everyone rushes right away through the gate, everyone except Anos, who decides to chill back and let everyone go in first so he can walk into the lowest flower unbothered. Now having reached the lowest level, Anos lets Sasha grab a valuable staff that empowers the magic of the user, while he and Misha head to another room to look for a birthday present for Sasha. She hands her a phoenix clock and Anos steps out to let them have a moment. However, when Sasha gets out, blood can be seen on her cheek. She has stabbed her twin sister right in the tata. That said, Anos is not shaken by the betrayal, since he deduced there's more to the story than haha, I fooled you to win the competition. Misha, after being healed, asks the Demon King to spare Sasha and let her go, which he does, but still the main man demands answers. Misha reveals that when they were born, Sasha's soul was split into 2 by the family head Necron, and on the 15th birthday of the girls, Misha will disappear or rather re-infuse with Sasha. Misha is okay with that since she finally was able to make a friend and enjoy life for once. Upon hearing such sad but sincere words, the Demon King hugs her and assures her all things will be okay. He then asks her what she truly wants, and Misha says she wants to make up with her sister, who challenges them to duel. Sasha creates a circle that if our boy can control it, she will answer Misha's questions, so needless to say, he won. Sasha told her twin sis how she loved her, and that she was looking for ways to change fate. Sasha was able to find a way for her to disappear instead of Misha, but sweet Misha refuses to let her sister vanish. Something Anos also agrees on, and so he devises a plan to go back in time 15 years ago to modify the fusion spell. All the girls need to do is believe in him as the origin source, the founding ancestor, to make the spell work, which the girls agree on. Suddenly, Necron comes from out the blue, shoving his sword through Anos' heart because he doesn't want him to stop the girls from merging into one, as he believes they are the key to resurrecting his master. And that's when our boy says his trademark line, "Did you really think crushing my heart would kill me?" But first, the group then makes a stop at the Time God Realm and grants Necron his powers to stop Anos from changing the flow of the timeline. Although faced by a powerful demon juiced with some divine power, whilst on their home turf, Anos stands tall with his overwhelming power declining. What makes one a demon king is neither power, abilities, fame, nor bloodline. It's believing in oneself, and so he once more promises the girls to make all their wishes come true as long as they believe in him for real, sending the girls back in time to change the spell while the main man sticks in the present to summon his legendary magic sword of destruction that annihilates everything, including the time god possessing Necron. Shortly after, Necron rises back to his normal self as the loyal subordinates of the Demon King. Anos restores Necron's memories and tasks him with investigating this Avos guy. The girls come back as their individual selves. We get a scene from the past. One of Anos' trusty guys named Shin defeated a giant beast with one blow, His reward was reincarnation alongside his master, but with no memories or such, since he finds it interesting to start from zero with only his sword skill. Skill is said to be on par with the legendary hero Kanan's skills. Back to the present, Amelia, the class teacher, announces a new royal transfer student will be joining soon. But that's not the most shocking announcement, as she also tells the class that the staff Anos' team brought has been stolen, and since they can't know for sure how genuine the staff is, they will give the team a 70 mark, which Sasha and another girl protest, as it's a clear show of discrimination against misfits and hybrids. Seeing his fangirls all worked up, the man puts his foot on the ground, pulls the staff from a guy's chest, then hands it to Amelia, telling her, "Next time you tell someone to steal something, tell them to do it well." After class, Misha approaches Anos to thank him for standing up for her and offers him a tour of the Unitarian headquarters, a movement made to unite all demons regardless of social standings. When Anos enters the building, all girls get bricked up. To avoid any harassment, the movement is posing as a fan club to Anos, since they believe he is the true demon king. Misha shows Anos a magical sword handed down by her father, revealing she's a hybrid of a royal demon and spirit. An interesting mix, as Anos puts it. Misha then asks him to let them serve under him, yet Anos tells her, "Calm your fun bags, lady. Better show me you can pull your weight first." We might paraphrase a little. Anyways, the next day, the class is having some field training. Anos speaks of the sword that he could not wield, made for hero Kanan. It was forged by the gods and empowered by a spirit to destroy the Demon King. The story time gets cut short when the transfer student Lei enters the training, picks a magical sword with ease, and defeats one of the elder demons, just like Sir Anos. Later in the class, Lei refuses to become a team leader, as he would rather follow a competent leader, i.e. Anos. However, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, passes on the offer. Instead, Anos challenges the transfer student in the next team competition games, and if he does well, along with Misha's group, he will allow them all to join him. The girls are dumbfounded at how a royal member is talking to them like equals and comrades. Lei tells them, "I don't believe the Demon King wanted this separation between hybrids and pure bloods, but he wanted for all to live well and prosper." That said, the battle begins with the overpowered team dividing. The girls go to fight with the fan clubs that build a moving rock castle, while the boys go and sword fight in the woods. The girls manage to use some advanced, powerful spells on their own without the need to get some power from their master. Turns out that when they went back in time, they fused themselves and amplified their powers. With their backs facing, Sasha and Misha pull a Necron special spell that fuses fire and ice to blow the incoming enemies. Meanwhile, the boys are still touching tips and destroying their surroundings. Lei eventually loses to the MC, who was very impressed by the performance of his new friend and ally, which reminds him of an old subordinate 2,000 years ago. After the epic battle, the overpowered team, along with the new members, Lei and Misha, went to enjoy a feast made by Anos' sweet mama. After, Lei is walking Misha home. He apologizes to her since he believes if he went after the girls, Misha's group would have had a better chance of being accepted by Anos. Hearing this, Misha puts Lei's mind at ease and tells him she isn't mad and that she is quite thankful, because if it weren't for him, she couldn't join the group from the first place, and that she admires how he treats her and others nicely like equals despite being from a royal family. The next day, Amelia informs the class that there will be a sword tournament, and Lei as well as Anos got selected to participate in it. Although Lei is excited about their rematch, the Demon King is not, since the royals wouldn't want a misfit hybrid to participate in such an esteemed tournament. Soon after, Misha approaches the boys to tell Anos there is someone waiting for him back in the club. It's one of the elder demons and his loyal subordinate Melhace, who instantly gets on his knees and cries tears of joy upon seeing his master reincarnated. Mel tells him, even though he doesn't remember him, his source still remembers. After the walls were built at the cost of Anos' life, Mel found himself in a forest, lost with no memories. When he returned to the realm, he found out that the Demon King's name got changed to Avos. Anos asks who was the one that listed him to participate in the tournament, to which Mel says, "That I do not know, but humbly ask that you don't participate in the competition, as it might pressure Avos to show himself," which Anos will consider it. Back at home, Anos' mama mentions that Amelia came by the house to wish him luck in his competition, which raises some alerts in Anos' head. But after seeing how happy and excited his mom is, Anos caves in and says, "To join, I need a magical sword which I don't have," but she assures him it is not a problem. The next morning, Anos heads with Misha to a cat cafe where they meet Necron in his cat form, who informs him Mel to be sussy, and that there is also one mysterious person who resides in a hospital that is connected to Melhace. When Anos goes to see the hospital, he meets with Lei, who tells the couple that his mom has fallen ill. Anos offers to heal her, but Lei passes on the offers. He also tells him he will not participate in the tournament, which Lei doesn't mind, raising some flags in Anos' head. On the day of the tournament, Nikron informs Anos that Mel is not behind the competition, it's the other two elder dragons from the sword training. Furthermore, Lei's mom is the mysterious patient in the hospital. She is in a critical state suffering from a spirit disease that didn't exist 2,000 years ago. Back to the action, the first round of the tournament is between the royalist defending champ Emilia's big brother. In the grand scheme of things, the guy is irrelevant to the story, so Emilia's brother is what he shall be known as. When everyone thinks that Anos ran from Emilia's brother and starts mocking the main man, Anos' mom stands up shouting, "My Anos can become the demon lord. My Anos is powerful, kind, handsome, and truly an amazing boy. Don't laugh at my child's dream." Not gonna lie, we cringed at the first half of the quote, but she saved it with the last part, and it became more epic when the father came running all stitched up with a magic sword he made from materials that only can be found on top of the cliff. He hands it to him and encourages him to fight. If you win, it means even hybrids can be demon lords, his father says. Thus, Anos takes the sword and joins the tournament to honor his parents and the faith they put in him. And so the main man vows to defeat his opponent in 1 minute as his fangirls sing for him. Anos easily dodges all the royalist hits and stops his secret move to then finish the guy with the sheer air pressure from his strength, winning the tournament and bringing joy to his parents' hearts as he claims the win was all thanks to the sword forged by his father's love. While Misha congratulates Anos for his win, Lei wins his match under a royalist sponsor. When Lei arrives at the waiting room, he insults Misha and tells that he is focused on winning the tournament and killing Anos in the finals. Upon achieving it, the royals will make him a demon lord and secure a cure for his mom. Anos questions his resolve, so Lei swings his sword at him while our boy grabs his heart, but nothing fatal happens. That said, Anos comments that Lei is being held hostage. When he grabbed his chest, he sensed a collar around his source, ready to end him at any sign of betrayal. And that is why the pretty boy didn't ask for help. After advancing to the finals, Anos hands his sword to his mom to keep, as the rules of the tournament state that he is not allowed to use another. In the meantime, Anos heads to the hospital to see Lei's mother, who is a hybrid spirit, just like Misha. Lei's mom wakes up and greets Anos. It seems her boy has been telling stories about this new powerful friend he made. Anos asks her if she knows if Lei joined the royalists to cure her, to which she answers yup. She also tells him, "Ever since I collapsed, Lei was unhappy till he finally met a worthy opponent that was able to beat him. His heart desires to go all out fighting someone for the first time." Anos accepts to fulfill their desires, but also decides to heal the lady by linking Misha's spirit source with her stabbing it for a bit. Meanwhile, on the other side, Anos' mama is getting threatened by Emilia, who wants to take the sword by force, but the fangirls protect her at the cost of their lives. Luckily, Anos arrives in the nick of time to heal his mother's ankle and revive the girls. He asks for their names and thanks them for protecting his mother. Anos then switches his attention to the royal tramp, who is about to turn into a shish kebab. The main man demands that she acknowledge him as the true demon king, something that Emilia despises, being a royal and whatnot. However, when being impaled by a sword, one can't be too critical of what they say. After acknowledging him, Anos resurrects her in a new hybrid body. Unable to accept the new life she's been given, the now brunette tramp tries to, as League players put it, bait herself, but Anos already saw through it and placed a curse on her. So no matter how many times Emilia dies, she will come back as a hybrid. Back in the hospital, Lei holds Misha at knife point. He is amazed that Misha still believes in him no matter what, and she is risking her life to help his mom. So he knocks her unconscious to protect her. Lei's mom wakes up and tells him no need to worry anymore and that she is grateful for the time she spent with each other as a mother and son, even though she is not his biological mother, and wishes that he tries his best in the duel before passing out again. At the final match, the contestants are given bracelets that suck their magic powers. A talking owl tells him that as his magic powers get depleted, Lei's mom will get sicker, and if he wins the duel, Lei will die via the collar around his source. That said, Anos stands tall and fights normally as if his magic is not getting the sucky treatment. Lei injures himself, breaking the contract with the royalists, meaning that he will die soon. Pretty boy did this so he can truly fight to his heart's content. The boys hit their final blow. Anos loses an arm while Lei loses his heart. Suddenly, the arena gets transported to another realm where the owl turns into Melhace, who tells his demon king, "There is no way you getting out of this dimensional prison alive, not with the other demon lords coming to join the fight." Then Mel looks behind Anos to see the demons dead. Turns out Lei is still alive and kicking. You see, when Anos stabbed the pretty boy in the chest, he made it so the blade only hits the collar around the source. That said, an experienced demon elder always has a backup plan. He offers Lei the choice that if he joins the royalist, Anos suddenly interrupts him and tells him to kill her. Lei doubles down that he has been preparing to lose his mother for a long time now. This changes nothing to him. So he throws his sword at the old geezer and hops through the portal to say goodbye while Anos sticks back to fight Mel, who was using a part of the wall to fight the man that built it 2,000 years ago. On the other end, Lei is defeated on his knees till his mom wakes up and transforms into a blade. Turns out her true form is his sword, which Lei picks and uses to shear the black ooze along with the big mama, who finally passes away in peace, proud of her son. Meanwhile, Anos manages to find a way to Mel's location. Mel tries to trap our boy, but the clueless geezer gets overwhelmed by the power of plot armor, or more specifically, the sword of destruction that defies all law of logic. Anos shoves the magic sword into Mel's head deep enough to kill a mind-controlling parasite placed on his brain. When the old man regains his senses, he asks forgiveness and tells him the day he passed away, someone jumped him and controlled his mind. That someone was standing in the corner watching over what just inspired. Now back in the arena, Anos heals his boy, as well as revives his mother via some plot armor cart. We will not bother to recap, but what we will recap is that Sasha was the one tasked to congratulate the winner and give him a prize as well as a kiss on the cheek. Now before we continue, we get another flashback to 2,000 years ago. The true demon king of tyranny, Anos Voldigod, went to the human capital to talk peace with the hero Kanan, but a foolish old man named Jirga didn't like it, and so he leaped to face him, blinded by rage and grief due to his family's death. However, the demon doesn't care as he stabs him in the chest and pulls an Uno reverse card telling him, "My mom was also killed by humans," leaving the man with the goofy name on the ground. Now back to the present time, a new teacher that seems wholesome informs the class that they will be having a school trip to the Hero Academy. So to prepare, they go to the forest for some training to prepare for the school trip, where they will be competing against the hero students. Needless to say, he whipped them to shape. After training, Anos takes Lei to his treasury as his boy needs a new sword. He gives him a sword wielded by his previous right man, Han Shin, and tells him that he sees much of Shin in him, that he recalls the hero Kanan and the promise they made to become friends if they reincarnated together. The next day, while the teacher tells the students to get ready for a long journey ahead, Anos teleports the group in a second. Sasha heads with Anos to check the academy. On the way, our boy uses his Riz magic to calm the nervous Sasha. Upon arriving at the academy, the couple gets greeted by the academy's sweetheart Eleanor. She gives a tour and shows them the library where the academy keeps their magic books and history books, reciting the events and defeat of the Demon King 2,000 years ago from the human's perspective, which angers Sasha since her beloved king sacrificed himself to build the walls. Anos calms her down, saying it doesn't matter what the story is as long as the end result was peace. Eleanor apologizes if she said something wrong. A four-eyed douche appears on the stairs saying, "A demon sacrificing himself for peace? Don't make me laugh." The guy is said to be one of the hero Kanan's resurrected sources. Another resurrected source is a big meathead, who charges head-on at the Demon King, not knowing he's outmatched. When asked for his name, Anos says it proudly and leaves the four-eyed guy with a serious grin on his face. Eleanor follows Anos to tell him not to bother looking for the hero Kanan, as he is not the same person he knew from before, telling him after the Demon King died, Kanan got murdered by a human. After some time, the rest of the classes arrive with a new wholesome teacher. She tells the curious students that Anos' group arrived on the same day they marched. A third-year student has a problem accepting that and confronts Anos about cheating, but the madman responds, "No need to be mad. I heard it only took you 2 days. That's a wonderful feat to be proud of." The guy apologizes, however, he still won't acknowledge Anos as the true Demon King of tyranny. Diego, the teacher and supervisor for the Jirga Kanam elite class, kicks off the Joint Academy session by creating objects for the students to demonstrate what they are capable of. Representing the humans is the four-eyed guy who uses his holy magic to restore a blade and crush a rock in a very unholy manner. Meanwhile, representing the demons is the third-year student, since Anos didn't feel like raising his hand. However, when Revis tries to cast a spell, he fails and everyone starts laughing at the demons, till the MC puts his foot on the ground and calls out the trickery of the humans. Turns out that when the four-eye cast his spell, he also cast another one, putting a barrier against demon magic around the mouse cage. So he breaks it and turns the mouse and the plants into beasts, scaring everyone, to then flex even more and vanish them by summoning a holy sword to everyone's shock. Since the humans believe demons are incapable of using divine magic due to them lacking pure heart and love. Anos educates them, explaining demons can use holy magic, but on a different wavelength. The four-eye concludes he's indeed the reincarnation of the Demon King, but surprise, surprise, his classmate rage at the idea and cannot accept a hybrid being the reincarnation, even though he just showed them his power, intellect, and how quite capable he is to save face after they were mocked. Later at night, Necron visits his master and tells him there is a rumor flying around the graduates of the Hero Academy. It goes like this: one day, this utter darkness will once again consume the land, but do not be afraid. offer hope along with your prayers to the legendary hero, for then he shall appear with the Thunder God sword, Evan's mana in his hand, and thus he will illuminate the world. Keep in mind, Thunder God's sword, Evan's mana, is the only sword Anos can't wield. The chit-chat gets cut short when the girls come to take their master to go and enjoy a festival. There they see Lei hanging with Misha looking like a couple, and to mark their bonding, Lei buys Misha 2 single shell necklace, which seems to remind our boy of something. That something is a story about a hero that gave his lover a necklace made for a holy shell, and they promise to meet if they get reincarnated. Misha also adds, if one breaks half of the shell, it means they are proposing, flustering Misha, who is walking with her friends. The group then arrives at the next competition, where each academy will be sending their best students, so naturally, the teacher thought of sending Anos, but Revis refused, believing it was his duty as ranked 1 third-year royal student to save the honor of the academy and his beloved teacher. While in the lake, the demons figure they can't use magic, and so they lose pretty quickly. Reason is the hero used holy water to douse the lake. Anos calms the teacher and retrieves the students who were severely wounded by holy magic. In other words, no one can heal it, except for Anos, of course, who heals them and goes to face the Jirga heroes. The douche heroes are confident they won since the competition takes place in the holy lake, but Anos says, "What lake, bro?" as he drains it in front of everyone. In the drained lake, it's business as usual, with the two groups building castles, but what was unusual is the fact that douche heroes reveal they are not the reincarnation of Kanan, except they can hear his voice filled with hatred towards the demons, ordering them to kill everyone. Anos throws a sun on them, but they not only raise a barrier but also send a lowly with a sword to stop it. Misha and the Demon King first step inside the barrier to build a castle in it, so their magic won't be sucked. The heroes come to stop Misha with their 1,000 restraining spells under their disposal. Soon the rest of the members enter and each one takes on their supposed equals. Stasha outclasses the Meathead, who is following her like a dog to retrieve his equipment, not realizing she has poisoned it, while Lei takes on the little rascal who likes to run with sharp objects pretty easily, using the little Ephor holy sword against him, crushing his ego. Meanwhile, Anos is facing the four-eye freak with the mute killer Loli. When overwhelmed, they pull a Dragon Ball move and get juiced by the citizens, raising their power level and ego. Consequently, Anos knocks their ego down, saying, "Do you really think humans are the ones only capable of love?" before asking his fangirls to sin for him and juice him up, countering the holy magic with holy magic, but on a different wavelength, of course. Hence, the love of 8 girls trumped the support of 2 million people. Anos explains that numbers don't matter, it's the urgency and genuineness of the feelings, adding these 2 million people don't hold a candle to the 20,000 people the hero Kanan carried in the past. Suddenly, a voice can be heard ordering to kill all the demons. It was so overwhelming even the girls got brainwashed. The lowly then leaps at Anos like a kamikaze to blow herself in his face, but he manages to contain the explosion. Then another lowly appears, surprising the main man. When he grabs her chest to get to her source, of course, settle down boys, Anos links with Eleanor, who asks him to meet at a shrine, claiming she is the only one who can stop the lowly. Misha goes instead of her master since his hands are full with a suicidal flat lowly. At the shrine, Misha gets jumped by Diego, who brutally injures her, recalling some ancient hate towards the Demon King. When Anos questions him, Dee refuses to cooperate, so he forces his true nature out using a spell. The rat hero tries to brainwash the students into blowing themselves to kill the demons, but Anos stops time in the arena. He then extracts Diego's source out of him, while explaining a wounded source feels so bad, death can be a mercy compared to it. However, the hero Kanan with 7 sources, no matter what happened to each one, burned, smashed, ripped out. Kanan would always come back with 7 others to fight, sacrificing himself for a better future. After destroying the rat hero's source and healing Misha, they head to a shrine where Eleanor is inside a bubble. Anos asks her, "Will you finally tell me who you are?" "I'm magic," she answers. Eleanor was created by a spell that changes humans into magic, and due to source magic being Eleanor's specialty, Anos frees her, and she destroys the brainwashing spell. She then informs him that the Academy has been cloning humans from Eleanor's source. The system was put in by Jirga, who created the Academy and manipulated the holy magic to keep the humans reminded of their hatred towards the demons. When Kanan protested these ideas, Jirga had him killed, and ever since Kanan hasn't reappeared. Eleanor then asks Anos to destroy her since she can't live with the fact her children are dying because of her in some way, but one of the clones speaks for the first time and asks Anos to save her mama and not harm her. Touched, Anos vows to save her. Another Diego comes barging in, both parties are ready to duke it out, but then the dance gets interrupted by 3 demon elder who arrive at the shrine with a masked man that pulls the holy sword Evan's mana from its resting place. The true Demon King faces the fake Demon King and throws his son at him. Avos with a V slices it and declares war on the humans. Diego informs the masses about what happened and tells them to get ready for war. Likewise, Avos in the demon realm declares war on the humans alongside the other demon elders. Meanwhile, the rest of the demon elders are at the side of their true king along with his new comrades that will march with him to stop the war from happening at the walls. But before that, Lei heads to Misha to ensure her that you will be okay and take one half of the shell necklace. The group meets at the headquarters to plan their move, then they split to weaken the forces and delay their march long enough for Anos to locate the fake king. They waste no time. Avos summons the holy swords and rushes at the madman, who stops the blade with his bare hand and snatches a necklace of him. Anos greets his old rival hero Kanan. Kanan narrates, "I was murdered. The culprits were Jerba's followers. Once I was gone, they set up a plot to annihilate you 2,000 years later. The humans were making a mistake, an irrational one, so I had to do something to rectify it. Avon Smyrna has the power to nullify and rewrite destiny itself. I changed your destiny and reincarnated as the demon king of tyranny in your stead. Lei's big plan is to be killed to lift the hatred Kira's put on humans. Anos doesn't agree, so the two clash to protect each other and their followers. Anos destroyed Lei Kanan's sources one after the other till he was left with one source. However, Lei refuses to stay down and gets back up to fight at his full strength till he finally managed to pierce Anos' heart. Of course, the madman let him do it. Anos wears the mask and declares the demon king Avos, that's with a V, has died. He orders the demons to retreat till his reincarnation. Touched by the goodness Anos always showed him, Lei shed a tear and declared the war is over. That said, Diego is still furious and orders the Lolas to explode, but Eleanor comes to stop her children. Diego, driven by madness, glows and transforms into a giant Jirga made from magic. Hence, Lei couldn't hurt it with his holy sword. Sasha and Misha joined together as one to stop Jirga and the Lolas from exploding, yet with all the effort they put in as well as Lei, they are unable to stop the mass destruction. Incidentally, a light appears and the Lolas fall. It's Anos. He is still alive thanks to Origin Magic's spell he performed 2,000 years ago. Jirga juices up by forcing the hate out of the humans, but thanks to Lei and the fan club, Anos also manages to juice up. Eleanor tries to protect the demon soldiers and tells them to run away, but the commander decides to stay and back her up, realizing his finding ancestor has truly risen. Anos summons his castle as well as his legendary sword that defies all logic. Alongside Lei and his Evan's mana, they cleans Jirga out of the hate cesspit he was swimming in. The girls go to hug their master while Lei goes to hug his babe. Anos then changes Eleanor's wavelength magic to his own. In other words, she now technically belongs to him. The fellas teleport back home where they bid their master farewell. Anos and his group head back to the house where his parents welcome the new girl with open arms before stepping inside to enjoy a feast. The end.